Now we will discuss what is exception to the law of supply. In the last video, I have just introduced what is law of supply. That is, when the price increases, quantity supplied will increase, and when the price decreases, quantity supplied will decrease. This is the normal law of supply. Now, why this happens? There are two reasons. When price increases, why quantity supplied increases? Suppose I am the producer. When the price for I am producing a product A. So I am the producer of product A, and if the price in the market increases, I am getting more price for my product, so it will be increasing my profit margin. So I will increase the supply in the market. That is one reason. The second reason is, when price of product A increases in the market, there are other businessmen who constantly strive to find out the product which is profitable. So they will feel that product A is profitable in the market because it has commenced a higher price. So if they can change the line of production and shift it and engage in production of A, there will be more chances of having profit. So there will be more new entrants in the business, and all over the new firms that has entered, the existing firms who are producing A, all will be increasing the market supply. So when price increases, the existing suppliers are there who will increase the supply of A. With that, some new entrant, new firms will also join, because this is a profitable thing, and they will also increase the market supply. So all over there will be an increase in supply. Whatever, but we are today going to concentrate what are the exceptional cases. Exceptional cases means when this does not happen, when the direct relation does not happen. Now, when it does not happen, for example, there are certain things which are very limited in supply. Limited in supply. For example, some beautiful paintings by Jamini Roy or sculptures by Michelangelo. So they cannot be reproduced again. They are already done. Whatever is there, the stock will remain the same. So even if the price of this painting increases in the market, can you increase the number of paintings produced? It is not possible, because the paintings are the work of excellence, and that is fixed. There is an upper limit to it. So even if the price increases for a Jamini Roy painting, it cannot be reproduced again because the supply is fixed. So can you take advantage of price increase? More the price, more will be the supply of the product. No. Those who can pay the higher price, they will be getting hold over the commodity. So in that case, the supply curve will be vertical. What do you mean by vertical supply curve? Suppose quantity of painting is 50. 50 paintings of Jamini Roy are there. It cannot be increased. But suppose the price increases from 10,000, then it becomes 20,000, 30,000. Now according to our law, what does it mean? When the price is less paintings have to be supplied, and when the price is more paintings will be supplied in the market. But quantity of paintings is fixed here. So whatever is the price, whether it is 10,000, 20,000 or 30,000, even if the price increases in the market, you cannot increase your profit by increasing its supply, because its supply is limited. The upper limit is 50 units of such painting are available. So whatever is the market price, the supply is same and constant. Only 50 units can only be supplied. So it is against the law, because the law tells you when the price increases, the supply of the commodity should also increase, and it should be upward rising. This is number one. Number two, it can also happen that sometimes there are shortage of raw materials. So suppose for this certain product A, I am the producer of A, So when the price in the market increases from 10 to 20 and then from 20 to 30, my willingness to supply A in the market will increase from 5, 10, 20. But how will I supply or make the final product A if there is shortage of raw materials? The raw materials which have to be converted into the finished product A. So even if the price increases and even if I am willing to supply more of final product A in the market, due to shortage of raw materials, I cannot do that. So again, it is not following the law of supply. With increase in price, I cannot increase the supply of A because there is shortage of raw materials. Now another thing, you all know labor. Labor is what? It is an important factor of production. In all the work of production, you know, land is required, capital or money is required, machinery is required, and to operate the machine you require labor. Without labor, things will be impossible. Now, labors are also bought. Like commodities, we pay the price and purchase the commodity in the market. Similarly, the producers purchase the labor. And what is the purchase price of labor? That is the wage rate that is offered to those labor. So when we are buying a commodity, we pay the price of the thing, and when the producers purchase labor, in return they give them wages. So wages is the price of hiring labor. So according to the law of supply, if wages is also, you can call price of labor. If the wages increased, if the wage increases, what will happen? Laborers will be getting more pay for their work, so laborers will be willing to supply their labor. Technically that is true, that if I get more wage, I will be devoting much more time in that job. So when the wage is less, my willingness to work will be less. When the wage is more, I will be devoting more time. So I will be supplying or giving more my labor. When the wage increases again, I will be supplying again more of labor. So it should follow the law of supply and it will be upward rising. But we humans, we cannot work with efficiency level maintained at the same rate even if our wage increases beyond a certain time period. That means even if higher wages is offered, we can offer our labor up to a certain point of time. But after that, even if wage increases, the money that is given to us increases, even if we want to supply our labor, we cannot, because then our efficiency reduces and we crave for enjoying leisure, okay, free time. Suppose you go to school and the school is for 6 hours, or you are not getting paid, so we cannot take this example. For example, I am working in a certain office. I have to work for 6 hours daily and I get a certain wage for that. Now the producer is ready to increase my wage by 10,000 if I can give every day 2 extra hours and if I devote more time. So instead of 6, I have to work 8 hours a day. Now again my wage is raised and they are asking me to work for 12 hours. I am ready to do that. But after that point, my efficiency will go down after working for 12 hours. So even if the wage rate increases, I cannot offer my service to the company because I now want leisure. So what happens? It also does not follow the law of supply, because with increasing wage, your supply cannot increase, supply of labor cannot increase infinitely. What happens? Up to a certain point, when your wage increases, you are interested to supply more labor. But after that, even if the wage increases, your labor supply becomes less and you are craving for leisure. Why it happens? Because whatever you have earned, you need time to enjoy the money. You need time to spend with your family. So will you just earn money and devote your entire 24 hours for labor? No. So you will only increase your labor or supply of service till a certain point of wage increase. But after a certain point, even if the wage increases, you are not willing to supply your labor because you crave for leisure and you are willing to enjoy the money earned. It is not like it cannot be like a machine. You are getting more money, you are supplying more of labor. So that's why the labor supply curve is backward bending. This is very important because many times it is asked that what is the shape of labor supply curve. For this factor of production, you will see that even if the wage increases, labor supply increases up to a certain point, after which even if the wage increases, the laborers are not willing to supply their labor, they are not efficient enough, or they want to go for leisure. Now these are the exceptional cases. So what are the exceptional cases? When law of supply or upward rising curve does not follow. It happens for labor supply curve. It happens for a product whose raw materials are inadequate in supply. It happens for all those rare items or rare products which cannot be reproduced, so their supply remains fixed. Even if the price increases, the supply cannot increase, it remains fixed. Now, elasticity of supply. What do you mean by elasticity of supply? It is different from law of supply. So you should not get confused with these two concepts. Law of supply tells you that with price increase, quantity supplied increases. And price decrease, quantity supplied decreases. It only gives you that there is a connection or relation between price and supply. They are directly related. But they are not quantifying anything. What do you mean by quantification? Now price has increased. Quantity supply has increased according to law of supply. But how much or to what extent the quantity supply has increased, that is unknown. For example, when the price is 5, quantity supplied is 10. When the price is 10, quantity supplied is 20. Can you see that price has only increased by 5 and quantity supplied has increased by 10. So, from this elasticity of supply concept, we will know that how much the quantity supplied has changed with respect to the price changes. So your law of supply only tells that there exists a positive or direct relation between price and supply, and it does not quantify anything. That means if the price changes, how much the quantity supplied has changed, it doesn't answer the question, which is answered by elasticity of supply. Price has increased. See how law of supply holds here. Price has increased from 5 to 10. Quantity supplied has increased from 10 to 20. So law of supply is holding here. But how much the supply has increased, you have to understand from the figures. When the price increased from 5 to 10, there is a change of 5 rupees in the market. Increase of 5 rupees. So change in price is equal to rupees 5. But what is the change in quantity supplied? Change in quantity supplied is equal to 10 units. So which is more? Price has increased, but quantity supplied has increased much more than the price rise. So we call it elastic supply. Elastic means stretchable. Anything elastic, we know it is stretchable. So elasticity of supply shows how much supply can be stretched. So when price have changed by ₹5, supply has changed by 10. So supply has increased much more than the price increase. So now we are going to define the elasticity of supply. It shows degree or extent to which supply changes with respect to price, or it answers the question by how much supply increases or decreases with relation to price increase or decrease. Now there can be 3 to 5 situations. We will define it afterwards, but till now we haven't arrived at definition of elasticity of supply. Now how will you measure mathematically? How will you measure elasticity of supply? We write like this, ES. Okay. It actually is defined as percentage change in supply in relation to percentage change in price. Now how to measure it? How you will measure percentage change? Percentage change is given by change in the quantity supplied, that is what is the change that has occurred, divided by original what was the quantity before into 100. This gives you the percentage change in supply. That is change in supply. If we relate to this example, the change in supply is 10, original supply is 10. So this will be change in supply 10 divided by original supply is 10, and if you multiply it with 100, you will notice what is the percentage change. Divided by, now we are going to find percentage change in price. So it is given by change in price. What is the change in price over here? 5. By original price. What is the original price? 5 into 100. Now, so what is elasticity of supply? On top what we have? Percentage change in supply, quantity supplied. With respect to means, with what we are comparing? The percentage change in price. Now, how this will get simplified? 100, 100 on top and down, it will get cancelled, numerator and denominator. So it is change in quantity supplied by Q divided by change in P by original price. Now change in quantity supplied by Q. If I change this division sign, it will be multiplied and this will be the reciprocal. So P by change in P. Now we will write the changes on one side. You know, in a multiplicative relationship, if we change the side, that is if we write del QS divided by del P, there is no problem, because see 2 by 3 into 3 by 4 can also be written as 2 by 4 into 3 by 3. We are just interchanging the denominator part, which is not a problem in multiplication. So we can write, we are arranging it in a simpler way. So change in quantity supplied by change in P. Things with the delta sign we are writing on one side, but we are not changing the numerator or denominator. Whatever is in numerator's place will remain on top and denominator will remain in the downside. Only we are shifting its location. P by Q. So this is the formula of calculating elasticity of supply. Change in quantity supplied by change in price into original price by original quantity that was supplied in the market. Original means the before price and before quantity.